is hard to hear sometimes, especially when you're immersed, when you're in the middle of such challenge, of such pressure, of such trauma that you think, what is the benefit of living life? How could this all be worth it? Have you ever had the experience of looking back on a challenge that you went through, looking back on something terrible that you experienced, and knowing now who you are in this moment, knowing that there was a reason, that there was benefit, there was value in that terrible thing that you went through? It's easy looking back, especially when your conditions have improved. But when you're mired in the center of it, it can seem like everything is going wrong, and it can never be right in the same way again. It is normal. It is normal that you feel this way. The reason all challenge has benefit, the reason all trauma and all experience exists to serve you, is because this is the process of expansion. This is how your soul, the universe, God, source, whatever you want to call it, the way we all grow and become more of ourselves is by experiencing things that let us decide what we prefer and what we choose not to experience more of. Right now, in this moment, you know that a hot stove is something you don't want to put your hands on. And there's no way to have the knowing you do without having been intimate with that experience. The reason it can be as easy or as hard as you choose is because some of us, some have put their hands on the stove and gotten burned. Some stubborn creators have gotten burned multiple times. And for those who are hitting the same challenge over and over, it is no different. It is exactly the same as putting your hands on something that causes you trauma, causes you pain over and over and over until you've learned the lesson. Being angry at the stove is silly. None of you would start Facebook groups or try to pass legislation to ban stoves. Well, some might, but in general, you would agree that the stove has value. There are ways to use the stove as intended to be of service for you, and life is no different. You have the choice in this moment, right now, on the dominant subject you are thinking of. If it doesn't feel good, recognize this is the result of your past momentum. This is the result of your past choices to touch the hot stove over and over. And right now, you are in the best position you have ever been to make a new choice. What is more valuable than this? You can't be the person you are right now if any possible experience of the past were different. All of that led up to this perfect moment, because now you are the most discerning you have ever been. You have the most data you have ever had. You have the most knowing that you've ever had. With this power in this moment, you can and you are making a different choice, one that serves you more and more. Whether that is changing the subject away from the hot stove subject, or whether that is deliberate redirection of your energy, of your momentum. Finding reasons to feel good when you think about this dominant subject is the key. You know this. Finding reasons to feel good. Subtle shifts will have a huge impact. Finding reasons what you want to be true is already a little bit true is one of the most powerful exercises in existence. This is the creation of new momentum, of a new vector of energy pointed in the direction you want, instead of pointing in the direction of the lesson. Yes. You have the key in your hand. It is 100% a choice. It is 100% a decision that you have in this beautiful, current, present, powerful moment. And when you choose, you will not be a victim of the past you. When you choose that it is natural and right and time for you to experience something new. And you don't need evidence, you don't need someone else to believe you. All you need is understanding that energy is how everything is created, and you are the controller of that energy. That's all you need. You have 100% of the toolkit. You are ready. You are ready to create anything that makes you happy. And it is so natural for you to appreciate your trauma, to appreciate your pain, to appreciate the hot stoves that you've experienced, because they have showed you. They've showed you what it is that you do want. How beautiful, how perfect. There's no other way. You're on a good path. You have this well in hand. Mountains and mountains of love.